from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Hello and good morning, everybody. I am Forecaster John Bordash with you in the JB Weather Center this morning, sitting just around 7:30 to get you your latest update on what we're looking at with our winter storm as it continues to push through and definitely bringing what we would characterize as a bit of a mixed bag of treats. As we take a look at live William Richmond Inc. radar this morning, it really helps to tell the story, and I do think our radar, at least through this version, is having a little bit of a hard time getting all of the correct precipitation types. You can see that we have seen several snow reports across the region, and that is what those icons represent for you. All of the different snow reports you've had come in, we're generally seeing, and I think I have this somewhere in the show. Let me bring it on up. We have generally seen since midnight, there we go, just about 3 to 6 inches of snow across the region. More back to the west where the snow started a little earlier, but we are beginning to see a little bit of that mix come into the region. And I want to show you this graphic that I had thrown together, what was that, about 7:07 this morning, to get you an overview. Because radar right now, and if I show you this again, it shows snow, and you would think heavy snow moving through the region. But with meteorology, we know how to go under the hood a little bit. And as we do so, we uncover this. So radar does a few things for us, right? In severe weather season, it allows us to see rotation. It also gives us this ability to see kind of not just what's falling, if it's rain or snow, but the size of what's falling and how similar it is to things around it. This becomes an important tool in times like this, where you get those purple shadings. This isn't like a normal radar picture. That shows where we have similar items falling. So everything is generally the same size. So purple represents near 100% similarity, and you're looking at almost all snow or all rain or whatever. Where you start getting those yellows and those greens, that represents less similar items, more dissimilar items. So that's like you have different size sleet pellets or you have sleet and freezing rain. Generally a wintry mix. So as we take a look at True View radar kind of under the hood at this correlation coefficient, you can see that when you get south of Washington, D.C., you can start to see some of that mixing. And I will show you a bit of I think almost a better way to view this. There you go. This is a current look at radar. You can see where we have those colors really focusing kind of south of Prince Frederick. Definitely down here through southern parts of St. Mary's County, parts of southern Calvert County, right? That is where you are likely looking at that sleet mixing in. Now we're getting those pockets of snow coming back into the picture. This was all a part of the forecast, at least here at JB Weather it was. And am I going to toot my own horn a little bit with this? Yes, because not only did many of my followers report to me that everyone's saying we're not going to see sleet and it's going to be like this 12-inch snowstorm, but a couple of my colleagues as well out in the field, which is fine. But this has always kind of been my thought because we do tend to see this with these sorts of storms where you get enough warm air up above our heads that transitions the snow over to this period of sleet and mixing. And that's what we're seeing, especially to the south and west of DC. You're still holding on to snow, though, on up towards the north. Here's a version of radar I like. It does a little bit of a better job at getting a handle on the sleet and the freezing rain down to the south. And it still shows snow through southern Maryland, but again, we know that through southern areas, this is more of sleet and freezing rain, and right now Pax River is actually just reporting pure rain for us. But several snowfall reports of up over 6 inches. That's what these little icons represent here for you this morning. Bringing us back on over. This was kind of the overview synopsis that I gave this morning around 6 a.m. Those heavy snow bands. We were watching that sleet, freezing rain line to the south that has indeed moved to the north. But what's even more important, I think, to our short-term forecast is the dry air that we are seeing back out to the west. As we zoom it on out, and actually let me bring it over to, there we go, like the pretty version of radar. As we bring it on out, if you look back to the west, you are seeing a lot of dry air begin to take hold on out towards parts of West Virginia, western parts of Virginia near I-81. So this is a region of dry air that is going to eventually move in. Let's time it out here with Futurecast. This is what ran this morning, and we can see that it has that dry air getting in here by lunchtime, but it's 7 o'clock and it's already out near the West Virginia state line. So I'm thinking this probably gets in here over the next 2 or 3 hours as we start to see round one of this storm begin to kind of die down a little bit. Let me show you our impact timing graphic. There we go. Heavy snow this morning. We were talking about that sleet and freezing rain beginning to creep north, and southern zones were the most prone to see that. We are likely to see a lull in the activity later this morning into the afternoon hours, and then we potentially see a second round of snow work through this evening. So you could have a period of 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of seeing very little precipitation around lunchtime into the afternoon. Perfect time to get out and shovel ahead of what could be a potential second round. What is for certain is that we are going to see temperatures drop quickly tonight. As that second round of snow moves through, that comes with the colder part of our storm system that's going to bring in gusty winds, and those gusty winds are going to help bring in cold air from the north and west. So temperatures drop into the teens overnight tonight. So anything that even tries to melt, right, any snow that isn't clear, that's going to harden up on roadways. And those wind gusts upwards of 30 to 35 miles per hour are going to be possible tonight. So some power outages could be possible. Snow-covered roads and widespread issues are likely as we head throughout the day today, lingering into tomorrow. So I would expect a lot of the school closings we had today to linger on over into tomorrow. But yeah, that is a general synopsis, a general overview of kind of where we stand right now. Seeing just about 7:30, continuing to look at that sleet, freezing, rain line kind of creep to the north. And again, we really need to use our under the hood radar tools to really investigate this well. Again, we're looking for these brighter shadings out here to represent dissimilar items or a wintry mix. Lots of it out west. It looks like maybe we're starting to get a little bit more snow to kind of come back into the region. Maybe mixing in. This also might just be a little bit of rain that could be mixing in as well. So that's something to keep in mind. But generally, still areas south of DC, we're looking at that mix of snow, sleet, freezing rain, even for some locations, pure rain as all of this continues to move on through. Let's bring you on over here. Zooming out, you see we have widespread icing ongoing down towards the Richmond area, down towards Lynchburg, Danville, Martinsville, Southern Virginia, or I believe as they call it down there, South Side, is where you're looking at all of that. But as we zoom out, and I want to see if I can't just, let's bring you over. I'm going to bring you over here, and let's get into our interactive version of this. There we go. Let me turn off our snow reports for the time being. You can see kind of where things are. So we have our primary low pressure system sitting just about here. And that is helping to bring up all of this moisture from the south as we have cold air driving in from the north. This system is going to move on out here over the next 3 to 4 hours, and we're going to get in on the dry air that's back out to the west. What we then are going to need to monitor and watch is this colder version of this system, the upper level low that's back to the west. That's also going to need to swing through because that's where you're getting that second band of snow. So this is what I'm going to watch to move out to the east over the next, let's call it 12 hours. I think as we approach sunset this evening, this could help to bring through another quick inch or 2 inches into our region. So that's a general kind of overview of where we stand right now. To bring it back on over, take a look at currents. This was the snow forecast, and I still honestly like this a lot. I do think southern zones are already kind of meeting that expectation of 4 to 6. Granted, the purple writ large does represent 4 to 8. So I think that this forecast is still very much on par. Some northern areas might get towards the upper end of this, closer towards a 6 or a 7. I still like it though. And you can see where those snowfall reports currently sit. Generally 3 to 6, we're beginning to see some more snow pile up across the region. I'm seeing lots of your reports come in on the comments, looking at about 6 inches in Hollywood. I've reported 2.5 in California. That doesn't really go too well with our other reports, but that's interesting. 6 inches in Lesby getting a little bit of snow and a little bit of sleet. Almost 5 inches, 7.5 in Huntingtown. 6 inches on out towards Prince Frederick. So clearly we're looking at a lot of winter weather coming through here, and I would expect that dry air that's on out to the west that we are watching. And again, I will kind of put that on here for you. So you are sitting with your dry air right out through here. That's going to be moving through here over the next couple of hours. You have your sleet and freezing rain line generally kind of right through here. So to the south, that's where you are seeing that mix, even though radar might say it's snow. But then you have your dry air line kind of. So all of this, slowly but surely, with all of the drawings working out here to the east, and we should start to get into that dry period probably as we head late morning. So I could see by about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock getting that dry air in. And then we are going to turn our eyes and watch this snow that is back out to the west that's going to want to move through later on this evening. So stay tuned to JB Weather for the latest information. I'm going to be here in the Storm Center throughout the day, continuing to keep you updated on what's going on, getting those reports of actually, before we even go, let's run that back a little bit. I can show you what we are currently looking at out there right now. So let me bring up some of our traffic cameras, because that tends to be a good tool. And I was already kind of in my script to like roll this together, but not just yet. Let's see, nowhere near 8. What does that say? Nowhere near 8 inches unless you're about 3 or 4. Jeffrey, that is right in line with my forecast of about 4 to 6 inches down there. Sleet in Mechanicsville right now, 5.5 in Lesbia. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Trying to wait for our MDOT cameras to load. If they want to load, that would be great. There we go. Let's bring you on over. Where am I? There's traffic. So you can see generally where roads are kind of shaded in that yellow is where you're seeing slow traffic. As we begin to zoom in, let's take a look at Leonardtown. This is a pretty good clear camera for us as it slowly begins to load. Maybe. ... There we go. Oh, look at that. Ooh, right in time. Not that I want anybody spinning out, but you can see just what these roadways are looking like. This is Route 5 at 243 there in Leonardtown. Snow plows are out. People are out driving, but I'm happy to see that traffic isn't too crazy. You can just see that we have snow-covered roadways on out that way. Let's take a look down here towards, let's say, the Thomas Johnson Bridge, see what we got going on. Oh yeah, that just screams a wintry scene out here as we get close towards Solomons, Maryland. That wintry mix really kind of taking hold. Let's take a look down here towards St. Andrew's Church Road, and just snow kind of widespread throughout this region. Yeah, and this is very much in line with what radar is generally showing us. This is what it's looking like on out towards Lexington Park. In California, and this is generally what radar has right now. So you can see we're getting reports of now freezing rain down towards Ridge, periods of snow, sleet. It's all kind of mixing together, kind of one moment you're getting sleet, one moment you're getting snow. So lots to kind of keep an eye on. So that's what we have going on. We should get into that little bit of a lull in activity here over the next couple of hours. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll continue to keep you updated. I'm present on just about all social medias. So Instagram at JB Weather, X or Twitter at JB_weather, Facebook.com/JB Weather LLC. JBweather.net is also a place you can get a whole bunch of my information in the latest snow reports. So keep it tuned. I'll continue to have updates for you, and we will be back here live at some point, I'm sure, this morning to continue to go over everything. Have a nice and safe one. Keep it tuned right here to JB Weather for the latest information.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.